Hello, hello, it's Maria. I'm a reporter here with WDW Magazine, here to take you on another magical escape. I am coming to you today from various points around the Walt Disney World Resort property because I am on a mission to taste and review the best of the best holiday snacks that are available here at Walt Disney World Resort. My first stop on this journey today takes me to Disney's Hollywood Studios, where I am here to hopefully get my hands on one of my favorite returning treats that is back again for the 2024 holiday season, the gingerbread from the Starbucks location, the Trolley Car Cafe that is here at Disney Hollywood Studios. So I'm gonna go grab my gingerbread and come right back here and give them a little review. Okay, my gingerbread has been secured here at Hollywood Studios. And if you are coming to Hollywood Studios and you want this gingerbread, something that's good for you to note for yourself is that the gingerbreads were fully out in Starbucks, but none of them were labeled. They didn't have a label that said gingerbread cookie, Mickey gingerbread cookie, and they're in these white bags that you can't see through. They don't have it on display and they don't have them labeled. Rest assured they do have them though. So if you see those opaque white bags in there, those are the Mickey gingerbreads, and you can always ask just to confirm. But I got my hands on my gingerbread. He's a decent sized cookie. He's in the shape of Mickey's head and he's really, really cute. And I love this cookie year after year. And I think it's perfect that they sell it at Starbucks because I feel as though it pairs perfectly with a Starbucks drink. This is the true classic quintessential gingerbread. When I think of a gingerbread cookie, this is what I think of. It's got the royal icing outlining on the outside, giving it that little bit of an extra sweetness, but really this is a soft, soft gingerbread cookie. And when I broke into it, it could really tell how thick the cookie in and of itself is. This is a dense cookie, but it's chewy and soft on the mouthfeel and on the texture. The flavor here on this one is just classic gingerbread. It does have those classic holiday spices coming through. You can taste the nutmeg, you can taste, of course, the ginger that's in it. None of them are too overwhelming, and I think the design of this one too, with the smiley Mickey head gingerbread, would also be approachable if you have a kid with you who wanted to try a gingerbread treat. But like I said, I love this one. I get this one several times each and every year, and I was thrilled to see that it was back this year. Always a little nervous when a treat comes back. You're really hoping that it's the same if it's something that you like, but this one is definitely the same. It's so fresh, and like I said, pairs really well with a coffee, and I definitely recommend it if you're visiting Hollywood Studios during the holiday season. I am here today at Disney's Contemporary Resort, where I've picked up a couple of the items from this holiday pop-up shop that they've got going on right next to their gingerbread display this year. I had to get some of the items. They're all made here in-house at the Contemporary Bakery, and they had some really, in my opinion, appealing looking things. So I grabbed two items. I want to start with this caramel apple cake. This thing was a heavy, good portion. You can definitely share this one. And when I cut into it, it's a dense cake. There's a lot of cake to this. When I think of a coffee cake, a lot of times I think of the container that it's in will be half filled with like the cake portion, and then the top half will be filled with all of the toppings and the crumbled bits. This is not the case. This is 90% cake, just a little bit of caramel on top and a little bit of gingerbread, like streusel crushed up. This was a very good cake. It is very approachable though, meaning I didn't get a ton of gingerbread or caramel flavor from this. I think it could have used a little bit more of those on top of it to make those flavors pop. But overall, the cake was very good, very fresh, spiced really nicely, had a great cinnamon flavor coming from the cake, and the little bits of apple that I did find in there were cooked really nicely and added a nice bit of texture contrast to it. This one was shareable and definitely very fresh. I also grabbed the Linzer cookie here from the Contemporary. Like I said, I love Linzer cookies. They're one of my favorite holiday cookies. Them and gingerbread are like tied for my top two favorites. So this had a high bar because I am a Linzer girl. I love them every holiday season and I like to try from a lot of different places. This one was amazing. It crumbled, the shortbread portion crumbled beautifully, didn't fall apart, stayed together from the butter, had that nice crumbly shortbread texture that you do want from a Linzer cookie. And because this was Mickey ears, I was afraid that maybe the jam wouldn't go all the way out, but they actually had separate dollops of jam in each of the ears, so the jam really does go edge to edge, which is another important factor in a Linzer cookie in my opinion, because they can get dry if there's not enough jam. And the outstanding thing that I thought made this really, really good was how tart the jam was. It wasn't an overly sweet raspberry jam. It was nice and tart. So the powdered sugar on top offset the tartness of the jam really nicely. There were hazelnuts in this cookie, which they're not always in Linzer cookies. So if you have a nut allergy, make sure you always read what's in the cookie, I thought that they might put me off from it, but they didn't at all. They added a slight texture contrast. You really couldn't taste them, but overall this cookie ranks really, really high, and I'm really enjoying it here today. I'm here at Disney's Beach Club. The lobby is all decked out in its annual gingerbread carousel. This year the theming is Mickey's Christmas Carol, and each and every year the carousel returns, but it's a different theme every year. And this theme this year, I absolutely love. It is a Disney classic. I grew up watching this one every single holiday season. This is how I originally heard the story of the Christmas Carol. So there is also a pop-up holiday shop here, and that is one of the big reasons why I came. I picked up the gluten-free gingerbread cookie, so if you are gluten sensitive, tune into this one, and if you're not gluten sensitive, perk your ears up too, because I am not someone who is gluten sensitive or has a gluten allergy. But I wanted to try this one. It's because I know some of our viewers are. So I wanted to try it, give it a taste, and I am blown away by this gingerbread cookie. Oh my goodness. It is spiced to the max. You can really taste the cinnamon, the nutmeg, and the ginger really comes through in this one. But what also really comes through that I really like is like a molassesy flavor. And that gives it a real softness to the gingerbread cookie portion of this without making it overly sweet. But the star of the show here, and this is not part of a traditional gingerbread cookie, but I love it, is like this almost glaze that they put over the top of it that becomes a little bit crunchy when it hardens and really contrasts nicely with that soft cookie. It drips down over the edges. That is where all the sweetness comes from. And if you are gluten sensitive or not, I say come here to the Beach Club. Go out of your way to get this cookie. I am blown away by how good it is, by how soft it is, by how fresh it is, and how much flavor is packed into this cookie. So if you're someone who likes a real flavorful ginger molasses style cookie, this one's for you. Expect the spice if you come here to the Beach Club. So we are here this evening at Jollywood Nights in Disney's Hollywood Studios. From the market, which is located right near Pixar Place, we got the In Holiday Fashion, which is a take on an old fashioned. I am a bourbon loving person. I like whiskey based drinks, bourbon based drinks, and this one sounded right up my alley. It had a beautiful sprig of rosemary in it, as well as a black cherry. And the thing that stuck out to me was it had one of those coveted clear round ice cubes in it, crystal clear, no pigmentation to it whatsoever. Hopefully, whenever you see that, it's a mark of a good drink. This was a very, very good drink. It was an old fashioned that just tasted spiced for the holidays. It had some cranberry flavor in it, had a little bit of cinnamon spice flavor to it, and I thought it blended really well with the whiskey. This one was $9, and usually a drink like this in a theme park is a lot more expensive than that, and I really enjoyed it. It's nice to sip along with all of the different foods that I'm trying here today. I am here at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa with the beautiful Christmas tree behind me. I am here, of course, to see the 25th edition of the Gingerbread House that pops up each and every holiday season here at the Grand. The pop-up shop is such a fun part of the Gingerbread House because they sell all holiday-themed treats that are also made in the same kitchens that made the Gingerbread House, which is very cool. Here at the Grand Floridian, everything's made in-house. I went for the Ginger Snap cookie, and looking at it, it is a giant, big cookie, and in my mind, I did not think it would be like a Ginger Snap, but this was true to its description. It snapped when I broke it apart. It is a firm cookie, which is exactly what you want in a Ginger Snap. This would pair excellently with like a cup of coffee or an afternoon tea if you don't necessarily like a crunchy cookie, but I really do, and it has the flavor profile of a true Ginger Snap. The ginger really came through, the spice blend came through, and I like that it had some granulated sugar on top of it that gave it a little bit of an extra crunch. So if you like a dry Ginger Snap cookie, that's what this one is. I do, and that means I am definitely really enjoying it here. They have so many options though here at the Gingerbread House that you can purchase. So if you're not a Ginger Snap person, they have so many different options even beyond gingerbread. So take your time, look through the things. There really is something here for everyone, and it's such a fun thing to purchase a treat out of the Gingerbread House itself. So I definitely recommend doing that if you are popping into the Grand this season. I'm here this evening in the Magic Kingdom for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, and we decided to grab some of the new food items that are available here at the Christmas party. So the first thing that I wanted to try was this jumbo Bavarian pretzel. It looked really fun. It is a massive pretzel that has chocolate hazelnut topping and caramel topping on it, as well as a lot of differently shaped and colored sprinkles and candy bar pieces crushed up on top of it. So this is a jumbo pretzel kind of taken to the next level, to the max. And First thing I will say about it, it is absolutely shareable among a family of like 4 people. I'm only here tonight with CJ, and he and I look like we barely even touched the pretzel, the amount that the 2 of us ate. This is definitely one to share if you're planning on getting it. It is a good Bavarian pretzel base. It's got Bavarian pretzel with the salt on it, and the toppings have been added on top of that basic classic Bavarian pretzel base. And I liked that it still had the salt on it. I thought it cut through the sweetness a little bit. And I thought the breadiness and the chewiness of the pretzel, which like I said, is a good pretzel, really cut down on how sweet I was afraid that the toppings might be on this one. Very shareable, very photogenic, and one that a kid would probably really enjoy. Another item here at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party that we really enjoyed was the holiday dinner dog from Casey's Corner. This had every topping on it that you would think of when you think of a holiday dinner, right? Turkey, cranberry sauce, it had some fried onions on it. It was on top of that all beef hot dog, and what surprised me is that it came with Casey's Corner fries, which are some of my favorite fries in all of Walt Disney World. I don't know what it is about the Casey's Corner fries, but they always seem to be hot. They always seem to be really, really salty. And when I'm standing on Main Street waiting for the fireworks, perfect timing, to go off, I want that. I want that salty, fresh, hot fry, and there's something about them that just hits different. But paired with that dinner dog, really a fantastic option here. The only thing to note about the dinner dog is that it's not something you can pick up and eat while you're walking around this party. You need a fork with it. All of those toppings fell off, but none of them were overwhelming, and they blended together really nicely. The turkey was savory, as was the all beef hot dog. The crispy onions gave it a texture contrast, and the cranberry sauce wasn't overwhelmingly sweet and kind of cut through it a little bit. So that was a really nice surprise on the dinner dog here tonight. Welcome to the Epcot International Festival of the Holidays. The next stop on this best holiday treats around Walt Disney World Resort brings me here. They have brought back one of, in my opinion, the all-time best treats ever to be at an Epcot festival. They have the liquid nitrogen cake pop returning this year to the Epcot International Festival of the Holidays here in Epcot. This is a dark chocolate cake pop that first gets dipped in a dark chocolate and then gets dunked again in a liquid chocolate. Then it is rolled in some M&Ms and it is dipped in liquid nitrogen that completely freezes the entire outside of it. I've had this treat in years past. This is one of my absolute favorites, and I am so happy to say that it is so good again this year. There's something about the interior, the way that it's done. It's almost a brownie texture in the center to me more than it is a cake texture. The chocolate that it is enrobed in is always so nice, like a milk chocolate. It's so delicious. The M&Ms on there certainly don't hurt it, but that liquid nitrogen, when they dip it in the liquid nitrogen, that almost turns it into like an ice cream style treat. There's no ice cream in it whatsoever, but it almost reminds me of the outside of like one of the Mickey Head ice cream bars when you bite into that chocolate, because it's so cold and it is frozen from that liquid nitrogen. This is a chocolate overload treat, and I love the cookie stroll here at the Epcot International Festival of the Holidays as well, which I am actually doing today. But this is one that I cannot skip, I will not skip, and I do not recommend that you skip if you come here to Walt Disney World Resort this holiday season. It is a 10 out of 10. They've knocked it out of the park yet again. And this is my petition, Epcot, Walt Disney World. Have a variation of the chocolate, important, liquid nitrogen pop here at every festival, or at least one a year, please. It is so good, and it is something I will come for multiple times over the course of this festival. So Epcot, please bring it back at least one festival a year, or all 4 of them. I would be happy with that too. But that's going to round out my best of the best treats here at Walt Disney World Resort this holiday season. If you're visiting this holiday season, leave a comment down below. Are you attending Mickey's Very Merry or Jollywood Nights? Are you just getting regular park tickets for the day to experience the daytime festivities? Or are you planning on hitting up the resorts? Let me know. I want to know what treats you are most looking forward to trying and what you think of them when you do. Thanks again for following along. A reminder that this and all of our videos is brought to you by WDW Magazine. Link is in the video description to subscribe. Thanks again for following along. My name is Maria, and I will see you in the next magical escape.
Subscribe to WDW Magazine and escape to Walt Disney World every single month. This large format glossy magazine is filled with content, not ads. Subscribe now and don't miss another month of magic.